Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another pre-market watch list on the Boiler Room. So, this morning presents quite a few opportunities. Not as many penny stocks as normal. I guess you could say these past couple weeks we've had some good penny stocks to play, some big runners. But as of right now, we have a few higher price stocks that we will be looking at here today. So it should be a pretty interesting day. So let's go ahead and jump into it and see what we have to potentially trade today. So there are definitely a few good stocks here to trade. WINN, DPS, IMMR for a few of them, and that's primarily the watch list and CAPR. So we'll go ahead, show you what we're looking at, and go from there. So first, I'm going to start with WINN, win. Okay, so here is the the daily chart on WINN. So you can see here on WINN, it was $200 a share. Good morning, good morning. I'll give them hell for sure. So again, $200 a share. Then it dropped all the way down to $177 a share. Now, this was due to the CEO of the company having sexual misconduct, some allegations revolving around the area of sexual misconduct. Oh, camera's still on me? Okay, 1 second. So let me share the screen for real now. There we go. All right, so back to what I was saying. So if we go here to the daily chart on WINN, you'll see that it was $200 a share up here, and then it ended up dropping all the way down to $177 a share, right onto the what was that? The 20-day moving average here. So on a daily chart. Now, with this being said, it was revolving around the CEO having some type of sexual misconduct allegations and him kind of taking himself out of the role of some different positions and kind of stepping down, causing the stock to go from 200 down to 177. Right now, pre-market, it does have a little bit of support built up around this $172 mark. So the idea here is that Win is 173, was $200 a share. If this $172 mark can hold up as support and we start going bullish, then there is a lot of room and opportunity to make money from 170 up to 200. We can maybe see this move $5 a share to $10 a share today. Hopefully to the upside. We are looking to see if we can get this to run to the upside. So with that being said, we are going to keep WINN on watch for potential long. The potential long could be a break over 175. It could be a break over 173, 174, this downward trend line resistance. So while you're at it, you might as well draw a trend line from the highs pre-market down like so, and that can kind of help you determine where the stock might start popping up if it were to break over that trend line. Okay, so WINN, definitely on watch today. IMMR is another one here pre-market that you can see is gapping up and it's starting to run. Now, if you look at the news on this one, there is news of it reaching some type of settlement and deal with Apple. Apple, big name company, big blue chip stock, is in the headlines and news release of IMMR this morning, which is causing the stock to start running. So right now, we definitely have a bullish outlook on IMMR. The only thing to think about or be concerned about is if you look at the daily chart on the 52-week high at 1185, that's about where we're at right now. So 1185, this $12 mark could hold up as a pretty strong resistance. As you can see, we've popped up there to 1165, haven't broken through. So right now we're watching IMMR for a potential break above $12 to go long, or to see if it rejects the $12 mark, and then we could potentially open up a short position. So right now, IMMR is on watch for potential long above 12, and then a short position if it fails to break the $12 mark. So we can short at the high of day 12 in hopes that we get a move back down, maybe to 11 or to 10, essentially. Now, here's another one to look at, which is DPS. Way, way higher price stock. Again, this is Dr. Pepper. It was $95 a share. It is now gapped up all the way to 136, back down, now resting at about 132. So there's a lot of money that could be made short on the stock. The only concern I have about shorting it is there is news about Dr. Pepper Snapple joining to merge with Keurig, right? The Keurig company, the coffee company against. Now, you can see that this is a huge gap from 90 to 136. There is a merger deal, or the talks of merger with Keurig, the company making coffee company thing, right? So that's pretty big news. Again, it's like I don't want to be short biased on this good of news, but the gap is so big and it's so juicy for potential money to be made on the short side. So right now with the game plan going, we'll be watching DPS to come back up to the 136 mark, see if it wants to break through. If it continuously rejects the 136 mark, then I might short it. Going long, it depends. If we get up to the 136 mark, 137, and it's looking bullish, I might take a long position on it. Kind of just depends. But right now there is big news on it, so be weary of being short. But watch DPS today, as it will probably be in play. Again, this is a stock that has a really big spread too. I watched the spread this morning. Right now, there's about a 50-cent spread. Earlier this morning, the spread was of $8, $5. So be careful if you're going to trade DPS today. Okay, another one we'll be watching is CAPR. Okay, if we look at the daily chart on CAPR, you can see it recently just squeezed up. But what do you see, or what do you notice from past history? That every time it squeezes up, it usually comes down the next day or in the following days, right? And we just had a pretty good squeeze. So we'll be watching CAPR short today, as if history repeats itself, it should come down. So again, there isn't really any pre-market action so far in CAPR. So we'll be watching this one, hopefully short. It might not have the volume needed to really make the moves that we would like. But again, we are definitely going to be, or I am at least, going to be short biased on CAPR today. As you can see from, history, it usually spikes up and then comes down very soon. So again, that is definitely something to be mindful of and to watch. MYSZ, if you look at MYSZ is putting in higher lows. So again, this one's on watch for potential long. MYSZ is making higher lows and is setting up for a flat top breakout, if you want to call it flat top breakout. A flag pattern, ascending triangle breakout, a multitude of all those kind of mix. So right now, MYSZ is putting in the higher lows, trying to push higher. Right now, pre-market, it's starting to roll over and dump out. Again, if it doesn't break through this 275 area, it's probably not going to really do anything. It'll probably end up start coming down. Okay, so just a small recap here. We have IMMR, news with Apple. That's big, so we'll be watching that one. That one's up so far 53% gap this morning. It's traded 293,000 shares of volume. Now the gap is $4.15. So we're going to be watching IMMR. DPS. DPS has a potential merger deal going on with Keurig. Most of the time, you don't want to be short bias on merger deals. Okay. Then you have, what else do we have? MYSZ on the daily chart, it's setting up for a potential breakout. We'll be watching that. And then we have, what was the other one? CAPR, potentially a short, right? Because that one just, every time it spikes up, it tends to come down. Also keep LTBR on your watch list. It hasn't yet really squeezed from its big short. Could also be watching that one short. So we got IMMR, DPS, MYSZ, and CAPR to be on this morning's watch list. So once again, thank you guys for tuning in. That's all I have for you here this morning on the watch list. Again, there may be some other stocks that you guys can watch to trade, but as far as I'm concerned, that is what I had on the watch list here this morning. Pretty happy with it. Should be able to make some money today with those plays. And that's all we got. So once again, thank you guys for all tuning in, and I will catch you guys all tomorrow morning.